Have you ever wondered how fashion has evolved over time? Let's take a journey back to the dawn of fashion, where it all began in the ancient civilizations. Picture the grandeur of ancient Rome, where fashion was not merely a matter of personal style, but a reflection of one's place in society. Consider the toga, not just a garment, but a symbol of citizenship and social status. If you were a Roman citizen, you wore a toga. It was that simple. But the type of toga you wore could tell a lot about you. A plain white toga was worn by the common citizen, while a toga with a purple border signified a senator or a high-ranking official. Fashion in ancient Rome was deeply intertwined with cultural and social symbolism, a way of non-verbally communicating who you were and where you stood in society. So, you see, even in ancient times, fashion was more than just clothing. It was a way of expressing identity and status. As time progressed, so did fashion. Our journey begins in the Middle Ages, where the first whispers of fashion emerged from the grand halls of nobility and royal courts. A time when the color, cut, and fabric of one's clothing could speak volumes about their status and wealth. Velvets, silks, and furs were coveted, and intricate detailing became the hallmark of this era. As we move into the Renaissance, clothing took on a new role as a canvas for individual expression. Greater emphasis was placed on the cut and fit of garments, marking the start of tailoring. The Renaissance was a time of rebirth, not just for art and culture, but for fashion too. It was during this period that we saw the emergence of fashion icons, figures who set trends and dictated style. Fashion took a leap forward in the 18th century, stepping into the limelight as a significant societal aspect. The birth of fashion houses and the widespread circulation of fashion magazines allowed style trends to reach the masses. It was during this time that we saw the emergence of the fashion industry as we know it today. The 19th century brought with it an explosion of new styles. The Victorian era, with its high collars and tight corsets, contrasted sharply with the flowing, ethereal gowns of the pre-Raphaelite movement. This was a time of experimentation and change, and the fashion industry responded in kind. By the end of the 19th century, fashion had become an industry of its own. A realm where artistry and commerce met, trends and styles were no longer static, but fluid. They shifted and evolved, mirroring the ever-changing society. Fashion was no longer just about clothing. It was a reflection of the times, a mirror into the soul of the era. And as we moved into the 20th century, this evolution only accelerated, setting the stage for the fashion revolutions that were yet to come. By the end of the 19th century, fashion had become an industry of its own, with trends and styles constantly shifting and evolving. The 20th century brought about rapid changes in fashion. The influence of mass culture propelled fashion forward, with the cultural zeitgeist reflected in the clothes we wore. In the vibrant 60s, the hippie movement ushered in an era of bohemian silhouettes, psychedelic prints, and a celebration of nature and freedom. As the century progressed, the 90s saw a shift towards minimalist style, where less was more and simplicity reigned supreme. In recent decades, technology and globalization have supercharged the fashion industry. We've moved from seasonal collections to an almost constant stream of new styles, thanks to fast fashion. Influences from around the globe are instantly shared and incorporated, creating a truly global fashion language. From haute couture to streetwear, fashion is an ever-evolving tapestry of creativity and expression. In today's world, fashion is a global language, a way for us to express our identities and connect with others no matter where we are.